Sweet Caroline, dun dun dun, good times never felt so good. Guess what? My daughter was at Game 2 World Series. Yes, the Red Sox won. This is year October 2018. And she sent me a video from there. And she sang those words, those lyrics. Now, those of us who were affected by the Mandela effect, we recognize those lyrics. First of all, if you're not a baseball fan, this is a Neil Diamond song that is played at every seventh inning stretch. Game 2 of the World Series of 2018 was played at Fenway. So she sent me a video of her singing it. It's a very special song between her and I, and it has a lot of meaning to it. But this video, sorry, it gets emotional. My daughter is not really, she does not consider herself affected by the Mandela effect. At the very beginning, she saw things. We were on the phone together when I first woke up, and I was trying to share her, like, what's going on. She saw it, but then her boyfriend came home. I love you, Mr. Boyfriend. So our phone call was interrupted, and when she returned, you know, maybe he checked it into it as well or whatever, but both of them are definitely, you know, debunking this as mismemorization. Everything. Or, you know, that society just goes along with a certain saying, and then everyone starts believing that saying, and of course it was never in the movie. Luke, I am your father. It was never in the movie because everyone's just remembering the saying that everyone had misremembered from the beginning. Whatever. So it's been hard for me to, I am very close with my daughter, but for the first half year or more, she outright did not want to talk about the Mandela effect. And even though she and I are very different people, we've always supported each other's hobbies and whatever, even if we ourselves are not into it, you know. So that was another difficult thing, is mourning the seemingly lost, the people that you've lost around you, because, you know, experiencing the Mandela effect is a huge thing, and then to realize that the people around you don't even want to see it, or if they do see it, they poke their heads back in or whatever. You know, at the beginning I didn't know what was going on. I let it go now. Whoever sees it, sees it. Whoever doesn't, that's their personal journey. They're probably being protected from their minds blowing up because it's crazy. So last week for Game 2, she sends me that video, Sweet Caroline. Instead of Good Times Never Seemed So Good, she sang it, Good Times Never Felt So Good. And that is how the original song was. The whole stadium would sing it that way. And it's weird because she kind of even did a pause during that time. But she did not give me permission to put this video on here. So I want to honor that. There's nothing to be ashamed about if you're caught remembering things from what I call the birth earth way, or the fact that the Mandela effect is attached to it. I think it's impressive when people can remember more than one reality. So if my daughter, almost said your name, if you're watching this, it's an amazing thing that you can remember more than one. So you might have been struggling with which one to remember at that time. I'm thrilled that you sang it the what I call the original way. So I'll just make this video to you. I love you. And my brown-eyed girl, it was lovely to see you again, because when you sang Good Times Never Felt So Good, I saw you through your new hazel eyes. And it was right before your visit, so I was actually a little excited that maybe you're going to awaken to the Mandela effect, and the Mandela effect's just a method to bring us to this new level of understanding of what reality is and what life is and what we've been programmed to believe and not believe. And so I don't know, I thought it was the beginning. So this visit was great. It was all about the wedding you were going to, and with my recent move, you were trying to figure out what to do with your belongings that I've been, you know, lovingly caring for. And so, you know, we were dealing more with 3D stuff, but there was no room to talk. There's no need to talk about the Mandela effect. I just thought maybe, you know. And then, you know, everyone gets pimples, so don't be worried about having a pimple. But when you had a pimple on your face, and I just nodded towards your face, and I said, "Ooh, aren't you Marilyn Monroe sexy with that on your face?" You immediately went to, your finger went to where my memory and my experience of the Marilyn Monroe finger was. So I didn't push it. I didn't go, you remember. But in case you're watching this, that's not where Marilyn Monroe's mole is anymore. I've been through different timelines where it's here, 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 fat one here, symmetrical ones here. I don't know. There was one where there was none. And then I believe the last time was here. It doesn't matter. She's still Marilyn Monroe. And yes, she used to be plus size. The one here used to be plus size. And when you were plus size, that was a beautiful example that I gave you on how you can be any size and be sexy. So when you informed me when you were last year in high school, so after 2012, big year for us, you corrected me, let me know that she was not plus size. Well, I didn't know about the Mandela effect at that time. So yeah, she's not plus size anymore, and she's kind of gaunt for me. She's not as sexy, whatever. But you pointed to it, so you do remember and just so you know, a jewelry piercing, as you know, is here. So the jewelry piercing, we live in a reality, and everyone else, this is what makes me think that we're actually being reprogrammed, because instead of dipping into different worlds or whatever, I still will use the vocabulary worlds for realities, or birth earth for original experience, but I do believe that we are slowly being reprogrammed. Maybe not in an evil way. Maybe it's God or our higher self, and even a benevolent alien who's watching our petri dish experiment, or the avatar, whoever's, you know, us playing us as the avatar. You know, we're having to move to the next gaming stage and gaming experience, game, whether it's God's game or whatever. I do believe it is benevolent. Instead of just going and clearing the board like the chessboard and just going, whatever, we'll just start with new game pieces and get them from somewhere else. We're slowly being changed and reprogrammed a little bit at a time. So I don't think it's as scary as it first seemed to me. Okay, so the reason why I'm going ahead and making this video now is because I just got off the phone with you, and congratulations on your job in marketing and advertising, and I'm really proud of you. And you said something, and I don't want to always, you know, I don't want to be bringing up the Mandela effect at all. And then I ended up doing it in this conversation, only because you were talking about something with your job, and you said, oh yeah, they only use their left brain because they're scattered, because, you know, great artists are, because the left brain use their creativity. But I immediately jumped in and I said, oh, be careful. be careful, because in the current reality, the left brain is for logic. And you remember the birth earth way, where left brain was creativity. So I was feeling protective of you and didn't want you to get in trouble at work for not knowing that this reality, it's the right brains that are the creative ones. So you may never see this, but maybe you feel it through the ethers. I just apologize because my mama bear came out, and I wanted to protect you in case that slipped out. But maybe, you know, maybe I need to stop being a mama bear. All I know is I want to talk to the hazel-eyed girl, because you're all the same. Like a friend of mine and I were talking, you know, we're each a loaf of bread, and even though we're sliced up into slices, and maybe we're, you know, you were a brown-eyed girl, and then you're a hazel-eyed girl, and, you know, and we're going to find out we're also all these other things, and that's going to be too mind-blowing for whoever's watching this, we're still the one loaf of bread, and I've been, not embracing you since the Mandela effect, and I just thought, you're not remembering things. But you know, some of the script that was in the brown-eyed girl's version of you this past year after the Mandela effect, when I'm speaking to the hazel-eyed version of you, which, by the way, you might have switched when, from my perspective, we died in 2012 when we were ready to hit the wall, and we both couldn't figure out how the car magically got parallel parked instead of perpendicular hitting the wall. I think those versions died, but probably too much information. But there are two things that this hazel-eyed girl didn't get downloaded with the certain details of the script, and you used to want to be a physician's assistant for several years, and you were all into it. And so then I asked you last October 2017 when you came down, and I asked you what made you change your mind to go from a physician's assistant to, you know, marketing and advertising. And you were just like paused. You were searching, and I was not understanding. Of course, I was also new at the Mandela effect awareness, so I was also observing you like, are you not my daughter or what? Because why are you having to think about it? You would remember. And you are my daughter. All versions of you are my daughter. But then you finally remembered, and you said, oh, because now I get to wear cool outfits. And that's also, that answer is also a hazel-eyed, an Orion answer, not a Sag answer. No judgment, just noticing the difference. And then the last day that you were here, a couple days ago, I made a reference to this one lady, how I met your girlfriend that was in the car with us, was talking about, oh, there's some people that will just talk to strangers. And I told her, I said, yeah, I'm one of those people. And I gave an example how I was in the car, saw this lady with beautiful silver dreads. I rolled down my window with a button, but whatever. I rolled down my window and I said, oh, love your hair. And drove on. And I could see her in my rearview mirror, and she had a big Haitian woman just scrunching her nose and acting like I had offended her. And I realized maybe there's a history of hers where black whites say bad things to people with dreads. I don't know. I don't know what the history is. I have not, as far as I know, lived a life of a black woman. So, you know, I went down the road, turned around, and came back up the hill to her surprise and rolled down my other window. And I said, no, really, I really do like your hair. And that was the beginning of our friendship. And normally at this part of the story, you used to chime in and go, yeah, but she was not really a kind person, was she? And we don't have to talk about the details of why, but that was specifically related to something, how she treated you. And I would always agree, you know, and then our friendship actually fizzled because of that. But this time you didn't chime in. And I thought, are you processing it quietly, or are you, have you forgiven the lady or let go of the lady being a jerk? So I said, remember that? And you go, huh? What? No. And you didn't remember. So the hazel-eyed version of you, that part was not merged as part of the Julia Incorporated. And hopefully that's because you had let go of it, which is good, right? Because why would we want to hold on to that? But what I want to say is, sorry it took me so long to embrace your hazel eye slice of bread self, because I was wanting, I guess the end slice is the beginning, and I was just used to the beginning slice. And I just want you to know I love you, every slice of you. I try not to bring up the Mandela effect because I know that bothers you, but I brought it up today because I thought you might use that reference. Left brain, right brain, creative logic in that's not in alignment with the world that we're in, of the reality. All right. I love you guys. Thanks for listening, whoever's listening. I share these stories in case you're going through similar things, because this Mandela maze madness is strange, and we're not alone in this. And that's why I do this on air, so that hopefully I can make other people not feel alone, because this can be very lonely. And also, if there's any newbies out there, I just want you to know it's okay. It's strange, but it's okay. And I love you. And guess what? I get to see and meet all these other daughters within the daughter that I have, and it's exciting, you know. I love you all. I love you.